Hi, this is Dee. We are starting our technical assistance session for September 10th, 2014. If you have not already had a chance to, please check in on the organizational charts and click a box if there is something that you need to find out about specifically. We will be going over the end of the program items so that you are definitely aware of what you need to do at the end of the program. And if Fred and or Tammy would like to call in, we can have them answer any questions for you that they need that you need answered. So let's start out with the uh, success stories and completing surveys for the program. So looking at the screen, I'm going to pull this up and make it a little bit bigger right now. We'll open up the check-ins for you in a little bit if you haven't had a chance to check in yet. All right, my mouse isn't working right now. All right, so if you need to see the screen bigger, all you have to do is check the little box at the top of the box where we have the screen share that has the 4 arrows. It will make it full screen for you. On the Illinois WorkNet webpage for SYEP 2014, you can go to the top of the page where it says SYEP 2014 Success Stories. When you click on that page, it gives you another page that has a PowerPoint that we're keeping up with on SlideShare for success stories that have been submitted. If you have a youth participant who needs to submit their success story or their survey, you just go to the youth participant, complete the end of the program survey. It is about 20 questions. They can complete it and submit their answers. And it is a SurveyMonkey story. Then they can submit their success story by logging into their Illinois WorkNet SYEP account and submitting their success story here. So this will ask them to log in. Which I am doing right now. And this takes them to the page on their profile, and at the very far right, they can click on Success Story, and it will fill in all of their contact information, and then all they have to do is fill in a title, and we've got a tips for writing a great success story here that they can click on and read. You want a good title, you want some good details in the story, what was the positive change that impacted them, and then they can fill in their success story below. If you have an image, we suggest that you add an image that the dimensions here say 612 by 612 pixels. We want a square, basically. And any of these formats are acceptable, but we want a picture that has a great relationship with the employer that they were working with. And if you look on the page, there is a guide here, an infograph for a guide for is your picture on target. So you can take a look at these pictures. We don't want the goofy Facebook pages pictures, but we do want something that will tell the story of what the youth was doing. Then once you have that done, you can accept the terms of agreement and save the story. So that's all that is to submit a success story for the youth. You might want to work with them a little bit to make sure that their grammar is correct and that their story actually has a beginning, middle, and end. but we do review all of the stories that get submitted. And if the person has a problem uploading the image, you can send an email to SYEP 2014 at Illinois, I'm typing this in as I talk, worknet.com. You can send your images to that email address if the youth did not have the time or the ability to upload that picture. Okay, so moving on, if we go back to our excuse me, website page, for employers, there is a short survey. This is also a survey, monkey survey. This is it, 6 questions and your employer is done. And it has what organization, so that all they have to do is go in and pick the organization that they worked with, which would be yours. You can help them through this if you would like. And then it asks them a couple of other questions, and all they have to do then is hit submit, and they're done. So that's really quick and easy for the employers to do. Also, we would like to share their success story. And here's what works really great for this is employers can share their own success story, or you can submit a success story for them. So if the employer shares the success story, they will need to answer a few questions. So they can click here to submit their success story. And all they have to do is log in with an Illinois WorkNet account. Now, if they don't have one, this is where you might be able to help them by submitting their story for them, which is submit a success story for one of your customers. And again, you have to be logged in, so we would want to log into our account. Let me go back and refresh this page. Log into my Illinois WorkNet account, and I log in to my Workforce Professional account, Workforce Partner account. Oh my goodness, my fingers aren't working. And then you just click on the blue box at the top to submit the success story. And it will take you through these questions, the series of questions, and you want to pick the bottom option. I am submitting a story about a special project, which is the Summer Youth Employment Program. And the project name is SYEP 2014. And then give it a nice reference to your organization or to the business. So we're going to put Dee's Desks, and then your first and last name, contact information, and then we click Next, and it lets you pick I was part of the Summer Youth Employment Program, or they are an employer or business. So it depends on which, it would be the I employed a youth for the summer. And then fill in the story from the employer's perspective for this. And you want a great beginning, middle, and end to the story. Had a great youth. And then you hit Next. I didn't fill this in as much as I could have. Sector, I'm sorry, I missed this. So we were in marketing sales. And Next. And I'm not going to upload the image here but I can, I'm sorry, this is the sector image, and then I can browse for an image so that I can include one of those images in the program. And we're going to just pick something here. I can type in a brief description if I want to do that as well. Click Next. And if I see what I'm reading is fine, I can just hit the Next. Or if I need to make any changes, I can click the previous. I click Next. I read and agree to the disclaimer, and I submit the story. So that's easy peasy lemon squeezy for you to submit a success story on behalf of your employer. Now let's go to the program information. And I need to let a couple of people onto the call here. So good morning, Fred. Good morning.
On.
Thank you for joining us. You might want to turn off your computer speakers since I unmuted your phones now. So on your dashboard, not quite sure who's still echoing here. On your dashboard, sorry, I got to mute you guys. On your dashboard, you have the ability to do the completion status. That's where we are right now. And for completion status, the youth needs to have a pre and post assessment and payroll entered into the system. Otherwise, if the payroll isn't entered, they will not have you will not have the ability to update their completion status. So I'm looking at Fred Flintstone here, and I want to update his completion. He was eligible, enrolled, and placed, so he should have a payroll. So I go to his profile, and the computer is thinking right now. This is on your dashboard, remember. And we see down a little bit low on the profile, about midway down on the profile. We see eligibility status, enrollment status, what program they were in, and then we have completion status, has not completed, they were withdrawn or exited. Now, because this person doesn't have the additional options, this means that they probably did not have a payroll uploaded. So you must have a payroll uploaded for them to take that next step on the dashboard so that we can have them show up with completion status of either enlisted in the military, enrolled in training, hired by an employer, or returned to school or other. So please make sure that you have a payroll entered, or else you will not be able to complete their status. So do we have any questions about outcomes or success stories that I have not already covered? If you do have one of those, please type that into the chat pod right now. And while we're waiting for people to type, Tammy, would you like to talk about anything that's going on with DHS right now?
DCEO? Sure.
Sorry, DCEO. Sorry, I got confused.
Yeah, not a problem. No, like I said, we're just we have a lot of monitors out there in the field right now, and we're doing a formal.
Turned on.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I was trying to unmute Fred and
Okay, sorry about that. We like I said, we have monitors that are out doing formal monitoring right now with agencies, and so if you have any questions or anything, obviously you can check with the monitors when they're out in the field. We're not doing 100%, but we have a tiered level that we're monitoring. And at this point, like I said, a lot of people are starting to wrap up. We're still looking at redistribution. We're getting final numbers for that this week to see about redistribution. But besides that, I think we're getting close to wrapping up.
great. All right, and Fred let me know that he doesn't have anything that he needs to add to the conversation. So if we have no further questions from the audience, or if we do not have any other demonstrations that we need to do, I'll give it just another moment here before we end our webinar for today. We will have another webinar on next Wednesday and the 24th. So the 17th and the 24th we'll have our final two webinars. If you have not already had a chance, please check in. And if you know of anybody who is having challenges with our closing up of the program, please direct them to the dashboard where they can access our SYEP guide, where they can access all of the recordings and the information that we have, all of the resources, so that they can find out exactly what they need to be doing. Otherwise, if there are any other assistance items with which they need help, they can email the email that I have put into the chat pod. All right, I don't see anybody typing, so we will close our technical assistance session for today. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Bye.